when I first saw the pictures, I had to do a double take. I was like, they went modular with it.
Hey Lego fans, my name's Graham. I'm here with my Bloxs buddy Ryan because we're going to talk about 76300 Arkham Asylum, the new Lego DC set that's been announced. It's a massive new version of Arkham Asylum, nearly 3,000 pieces. So we're going to have a look at the images that Lego have shared and talk through this new set. That I don't know about you, Ryan, but I think it looks pretty spectacular.
Yes, it does. I gotta say, when I first saw the pictures, I had to do a double take. I was like, they went modular with it.
I know,
'Cause
it's like so different to what we've seen
exactly.
before from Arkham.
I guess I shouldn't be too surprised since they did it with the X Mansion, so like they kind of set the stage for like this type of thing. And I guess like the Daily Bugle and all that too. But like all the other Arkhams had always been like just like the standalone have like 10 different builds scattered around, whereas this feels more cohesive in a way, just based on what I'm looking at initially.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it was a surprise to see the modular because so far that's been used as a format in the Marvel sets, but we haven't actually seen it done that way for DC. But it's quite clever the way that this building's recessed, so it kind of sits back from the base plate. So it's got that kind of ominous approach still, even though it's in the modular format, it's still managed to kind of have some depth to it. So you've got that idea of like walking through the gate to Arkham before you actually get up to the main doors and everything.
I gotta say, when I first saw it, I looked at just like the static pictures before I did the little 360 video, and I saw it's covered by the truck in this picture, but there's like the one little Technic pin hole on that side of it. I saw that and I'm like, did they do a reversed corner building for a modular? And I got really excited for that, and then it spun around. And I'm like, nah, it's just a regular corner, but it's still cool that they managed to get it to fit on a base plate.
I think the nice thing is as well, I was a bit dubious about the X mansion and whether that should have been a modular building, because obviously, typically, if you picture a mansion, you expect it to be out in the middle of like some huge grand ornate gardens, or and that's how you always picture Xavier's mansion. Whereas with Arkham, because we've had previous versions of it that are super standalone, and if you want, you can have them off on their own in some creepy hill or something. I really don't mind the fact that this one's gone modular because, you've got the option. You've got the old sets if you prefer that vibe for it, but you've got this one if you actually want it sitting alongside your other buildings.
I think that's the weird thing with it for me. Like, it's cool that it's modular. It's cool that you can put it in the modular street, but like I cannot imagine having this sit next to like the Green Grocer or like one of the little like townhouses that they've done. Like, I cannot imagine making some poor minifigure live next to this thing.
I feel bad for them, yeah, because like every week, what's going to be going on? Is it going to be like Joker who's busting in through the window with his chattering teeth, or is Clayface going to kind of be destroying the structure as he morphs himself into something or other? It's going to take away the quaint charm of Modular Street if you suddenly got all these guys living next door to you.
Yeah, actually with the street, it's there's no sidewalk with it, which I think is also interesting. Like it fully comes out to the edge on like the street facing side. So like I don't know.
There's a
Like
little protection then.
yeah,
Is that
like
what
it'll
this is to keep the inmates and the minifigures residents separate?
yeah, though it'll also like it'll break up a modular street in an interesting way, in like a way that we haven't really had before, because correct me if I'm wrong, the X Mansion still had a bit of a sidewalk in the front. So
Yeah,
like
definitely.
that's like slots in, whereas this it's a modular design. It'll fit on the street, but it's still like a standalone, imposing, ominous structure.
And I think the imposing ominous side actually is the other thing that's going to stand out on Modular Street and is going to look a little bit odd next to those other buildings, is this is much darker in color palette. Like, even when there's been more muted tones like there was for the Natural History Museum, it's nothing quite as grey and brown and black as this. So and I think this is where maybe like we get a bit hung up on when things are modular compatible or not. But yes, this is modular compatible. I think it's safe to say that when Jamie Berard and those guys came up with Cafe Corner, they never pictured Arkham Asylum being slapped down
Definitely
in the
not.
middle of them. So maybe we should always think of it as a nice bonus that it's modular compatible if we want to use it that way, rather than feeling like this must be part of our city street and kind of disrupt the flow of it with this sort of yeah, dark Batman vibe.
I did like the interior. I was a little surprised when I was like, it is only the 2 floors because modulars usually like strives for the 3 for most of them. But like you get like the very tall design with it, and I think it works because again, like you get like that imposing ominous look, but then you have enough space inside still to like fit everyone in.
I would definitely be curious to get my hands on this one, because one thing that I'm a bit unsure about when you're looking inside and at some of the details and things is the cells look quite boring just from the images that we've had so far. In previous Arkham sets, sometimes the cells are really standard and repeated, whereas other times they're really personalized to the supervillains in question and things. And I always prefer the personalized version where it's a bit more interesting to build and then a bit more interesting for display afterwards. So I'm really curious to see whether in this case it just looks like this from the pictures, or if it is actually going to be quite repetitive when it comes to the cells and things.
Yeah, because actually, yeah, it looked like Poison Ivy had like a little bit in her cell, like some greenery on the walls, but then like looking here, it is still just like a row of cells, so it is going to be uniform, it seems. So like, it seems like they tried to do both, because like before you would have in some of the older sets, like Poison Ivy would be in like a separate building, a whole floor, so like you could really get like a unique sort of feel with that. Whereas here it's fitting into a cell block, so it has to conform while it's still trying to. But yeah, like you said, it'll be interesting to see it in person actually built.
We always have a lot more confidence in these opinions when we're talking about sets that we've actually built. And every month in Bloxs magazine, we have a full review section where everyone can read our reviews, find out what we think of sets that we've actually got our hands on and put together, alongside interview features with Lego designers, deep dives into mocks, how to build different things yourself with the bricks you've got in your collection. So go over to bloxsmag.com, order yourself an issue, find out what it's all about, and then once you've enjoyed that first issue, dive into a great value subscription package. But yeah, the cells that we were talking about, Ryan, I think the interesting thing is there's other rooms that look like they are more detailed. And like this room, I think there's going to be a lot of fun to be had in this set. And I think this room sums it up super well, because you've got Harley doing her job as the psychiatrist in the asylum, and you've got Scarecrow on the couch. But the detail that really tickled me is the Employee of the Month sign has got Harley on it, and the Most Wanted sign has got Harley on it. And if there's humour like this throughout this set, then I think it's just going to be so much fun seeing the decorations and everything.
Yeah, I like the suggestion that they let her continue her therapist job even after getting arrested, getting thrown in there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the thing I always love in Batman stories is sometimes it's so unclear the point at which like Harley's still a doctor and when she's actually an inmate. And I remember playing the Arkham Asylum video game and the timeline being so muddied, and you just think someone's got to vet the staff here so much more carefully than they do.
I feel like comic books always kind of pride themselves in the confusing timelines and overlapping stories. And
exactly, it's all part and parcel of like going to issue 1700 and however many of these comics have been running for.
Exactly. I did think this room was interesting, like the processing room, I guess it is, because I feel like in all these Arkham sets, Joker is always just strapped to a bed. But it just looks like, again, like this seems like one of the rooms that's going to have a bit more detail in it, because like you have like the little height thing for the photographs on the one side, and then I like the little monitor details, which are probably going to be stickers, but that's okay.
There's a nice duality here as well, where again, like you say, the stickers and things have got like a little bit of fun detail and humor on them, but then it is just such dark subject matter, isn't it? And they don't seem to be shying away too far from it in this particular set.
It definitely looks like the stage presence of this will be pretty good, and looks like Batwoman, yeah, Yeah, some of the Batman, like Bat Family figures, get the little clear display stands. You have them gliding
Yeah, let's have
around.
a look at the minifigures. Let's yeah, because there's a decent selection in this.
It's not a great ratio. Actually, I might be lying. What is it? 4 of them, 4 of the villains get costumes, and 6 in the jumpsuits.
I'm always torn on that. I never know whether I want all the villains to have their costumes or not, because I probably have a whole bunch of them for other sets in their costumes, and then this is an opportunity to get them in their jumpsuits. So yeah, I'm always torn on which way around I want them.
Yeah, but then at the same time, you're buying the big expensive set with all the villains, but then they're
Yeah.
not in their costumes, and it's just samey orange jumpsuits. But like it fits for the theme of the set, so like you can't complain too much. But I don't know, it would have been nice maybe. Actually, looking who got a jump, I think they have a good balance. But Scarecrow's always fun to get his crazy outfits for or something like that. But I think it's a decent balance for what they decided.
Penguin really tickles me with the fact that he's still got all of his accessories and things whilst he's wearing his orange jumpsuit.
They
That
let him
kind
keep
of
the umbrella.
the humor of the set nicely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then the 2 guards definitely have their hands full, I think, for how big the building is.
Heroes though to help them out. To be fair, like there's more good guys in this set than I think we typically see in the Arkham sets.
Yeah, I guess I'm still not used to the new Batman cowl. I feel like I don't keep up with DC enough to. Like I saw it, I'm like, oh, it's new, but it definitely is not.
I still prefer the version with the holes in the eyes, and it just shows you straight through to the minifigure's head. I don't know what it is, but this new version, I just can't quite get used to it. I think my Lego Batman is so ingrained as being the old style that it's really hard to see this new one and think of it as the traditional Lego Batman.
I'm still used to the one that has the chin strap at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone needs to sign up to the Bloxs magazine newsletter, because what we do is every single time a new Lego set is announced, we send an email straight to your inbox, so you don't have to open any apps. You don't have to be on social media to find out the latest information. You'll get it straight to your email. So you can be the person who tells your friends about it and the person who's most in the know about all of the latest Lego goings on. So head over to the website. The address is in the description, and sign up to our newsletter.
So I definitely suggest that. I'm not just saying it because I'm the one that writes those up, but.
But this is not the kind of set you're going to email people about, Ryan, because this is the original Lego Batman Arkham Asylum set, 7785 from 2006, which in my view is an absolute classic.
Now this is one of those to me where I'm like, if I see this like in person, like this is the coolest thing ever. Like all the different sections, you can move it around how you want. It has like that classic little charm to it. And you put it next to the new one, and I'm like, oh my god, this set is terrible. Because I don't know, like it uses like these like the giant pieces on the roof, like especially that one tower.
Yeah.
And like it looks cool to me. Like I oddly like that era a little bit. But like comparing it as a Lego set as like a good looking Arkham Asylum, it doesn't really hold up.
For me, I just have to tell the story anytime I get the opportunity. So I was a teenager on vacation in Orlando, walked into the Lego store at downtown Disney, and they had a stack of these in the middle of the store. And they were half price, reduced from the very high price tag to my pocket at the time of $80 down to $40. And because of the exchange rate at that point, that worked out at £20 sterling. So I got this set for £20 back in the day, and I was so thrilled to get it. And then I had the intricate job of packing it in the suitcase and everything to get it home. But I was so thrilled because I'd resisted all of the Batman stuff at the time, because back then, as a child, I was more responsible than I am now as a supposedly fully grown adult. And I actually told myself no sometimes when it came to Lego. So I hadn't bought any of the Batman Lego, but then I got this one and I was so thrilled with it. And the Nightwing minifigure at the time, I just remember, wow, it was.
Yes. Yes,
It
I
was a
I
great.
always wanted that Nightwing, especially because that's the one that's in the Batman video game. So I remember
Yes.
seeing it in there, and I was like, it's such a goofy design with that Exo Force hair, but like again, it works so well for the era. So if you like this era of Lego, this set is incredible. But then you look at it by like the modern building standards lens, and you're just like, what is going on here?
Well, it is crazy how much things were progressing at this time, because by the time you get to 2013, you've got 10937 Batman Arkham Asylum Breakout, and you can just see how the transition has happened, where the Lego group are thinking more about adults and thinking more about displayability beyond just their traditional audience of kids who want playsets.
Oh, definitely. I will say I was scrolling through some of the older pictures of this, and it's interesting because like the front is so much more detailed. Like it looks like that nice, like fully fleshed out collector's set, and then it flips around, and the interior's like 6 studs deep if you're lucky.
Yeah, it's very
Like
much a facade.
yeah, it's one of those like usual like dollhouse style sets. So you see it from the front, wow, flips it around, you're like, it's still a cool set. And like it has like the poison ivy thing is coming out the window underneath the clock towers. Still a lot of fun details in here. Just the dollhouse style always amuses me.
It's an interesting thing as well, I guess, because Arkham Asylum has been depicted so many different ways through the years: comic books, video games, movies, all this different media. How do you do one definitive Arkham Asylum? Whereas if you think of something like a Star Wars X-Wing, it's got to look a certain way because it's always depicted the same way in all the different media. So I wonder if that's a challenge for Lego designers when they approach this, is that they've got a huge amount of latitude to kind of design the building, for whatever purpose, whether it's as a playset, whether it's as a display set that's more focused on adult fans.
And you have so much source material to draw from, and then I'm sure they just make up their own details, and you can reasonably say that it's Arkham Asylum.
And then there was the Lego Batman movie version of it.
The one I forgot about.
Yes, 70912 Arkham Asylum. So yeah, this came out 2017 alongside the movie. And I guess that's the place where the Lego group went as wild as they've ever gone with Batman, because there they had a huge amount of opportunity to play within the universe and bend the rules and do whatever they wanted with it. And obviously for this, we had, the most amazing Batman minifigures that we've ever had, really.
Yes, I don't know. I will say I like this. It has that like the Lego Batman movie had such like a unique style on the sets. Like I can't really place what it is. They just have like this like gloss to them in all the pictures that like the boxes have like the glossy finish. So now when I just think of these sets, like that's just how I think of them, even though it's still made out of regular bricks. Like I really shouldn't. Like it just has like this such a unique art style. How they did these up.
And I think that speaks to how they were kind of premium in every way, in the sense that they had glossy boxes, they had beautiful kind of stylized box art that was obviously really intentional, really carefully thought through. And then when you got to the sets themselves, they were bigger, they were more detailed, they were more intricate than your typical Lego DC sets or Lego Batman sets. And I think it was such a nice era when Lego were doing those theatrical movies, because it meant that there were these themes that ordinarily wouldn't have necessarily had as huge sets as they had, but they actually got them. So like Lego Batman movie, Lego Ninjago movie, the detail, the size of these sets and the value of them was really, really nice. And it was, oh man, what a fun collection that was to put together. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
But yeah, bringing us back to our new Arkham Asylum, having flicked through the old ones and kind of remembered what we've had before, I actually think this is quite a nice all-rounder, because if you look at the facade from Arkham Asylum Breakout, it's obviously got that vibe to it, but it's also got the depth and kind of interior and playability that the Lego Batman movie and the first 2006 Lego Arkham had.
Yeah, I think the modular style really helps there, because you can get the facade look, you can get the nice facade that some of the older ones had, but then it kind of forces you to get like a fully fleshed out interior, and it might be harder to reach into and play with but it'll end up looking a bit better, hopefully. Because again, we haven't seen the inside of the cells really yet. But I think the modular style definitely helped here, or has the potential to make this one of the best of the bunch.
Well, I'm definitely excited to get my hands on it and build the thing for myself. And yeah, we'll have to regroup, Ryan, after one of us has actually put this together and
Yes,
have a
definitely.
chat about what it's actually like to build, for sure. But in the meantime, everyone, subscribe to the channel, like the video, do all of that stuff, and you'll be able to find out the next time that we get together to talk all things Lego.